this is Richard here with CR Fence and Rail. So what we have here today is that we will be installing a cable post system over here along the edge of this yard. We'll set some temporary wood just to demonstrate how we will be doing that. For our setup, we will be doing every post 4 feet center on center. And in our kit specifically, we've included everything you need to get the job done. So we have included hot dip galvanized lag screws. We also have anchor bolts that we can use in the event of using it to concrete. And we already have included the cable protectors that can be slipped into the holes, and base plate, as well as a top mount connection with any top rail that you choose to use. So what we have here is that the first thing we're gonna do is to measure out the distance between each post. It's gonna be 4 feet center on center. And we have also marked a chalk line along the edge over here so we can position our post exactly at the right place from the edge on every post. Now that we have the post installed all the way down, we're gonna go ahead and install the base plate. So if you have the plastic one, you're gonna basically cap it over and connect it, push it together, and it'll lock in place. And that's it. So once we have the base plate secured, so what we're gonna have here is we have 2 kinds of cable protectors that we personally make at CR Fence and Rail. We have our straight protector that goes for the straight post, and then for the corner post, we have our specific corner ones that allows us to turn at a 90-degree angle. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and knock them in and facing the other way that is coming back out for the post. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna push it in and it just snaps in. You're gonna push it in towards you, and then it will snap in for the corner post. And once you put these in, it will be a little bit hard to take out. So if you're using some sort of other terminal systems, you might want to decide if this is the right fit for you. So now that we have all the cable posts set up, we're gonna go ahead and attach the top rail bracket. This is gonna help secure the top rail onto the post itself. So we're gonna go ahead and take the screws. And then we're gonna come over here. Same idea for the straightaway cable railing post. And now that we're done here, normally it would be easier for us to secure the top rail once we have this ready, because we can come up, drill through here without hitting the cable post. But for this video, we're gonna stop right here. We're gonna show the cable connection for the rest of the video. So we have all the posts set up at this point behind us, and we have our terminals ready to be used in just a bit. The next thing we're gonna do here is run our cables all the way through, so this way we can have these ready to go and to put the terminal in place. So the end post typically is not gonna have any of the cable protector because we'll be using the specific terminals that will be inserted into the hole here. And in some instances, we might even have to drill out the hole a little bit bigger depending upon the end connection. So we do wanna decide on that first. In this case, this side will be the end, so we will be crimping this one-sided end terminal over here, the fixed end terminal. And this fits here just fine, so we don't have to bore out the hole. However, if on the other side, when we need to use a tightening terminal, when that happens, we will need to drill out the hole a little bit bigger before running the wire through and connecting that end. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and connect the wire at this point. So once in a while, you're gonna have an end that frays, and when that happens, it makes it hard to push it through the protector. So what we can do is we can go ahead and cut off the end that is frayed. So when we have both sides filled in on a corner post, it becomes a little bit harder to feed the wire through. So what we really suggest is take out one of the corner posts over here, and we're gonna go ahead and feed the wire through. This will make it a little bit easier to feed it through without fighting the turn. Once it comes out, we can take the protector, slip it in. If you need to turn it to help slip it through. If it frays, that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and cut off the end over here in just a bit. And we're gonna slip this back in, and now it's in. Because this is frayed over here, we're gonna go ahead and cut this off again. Well, that's it. I'm gonna continue on and finish this connection. So we got a crimping tool here, and we got an end terminal. The terminal here is a fixed terminal, so this side will be the side that does not adjustable. So there is no need, once again, for us to drill out the hole because the size fits perfectly. So we're gonna go ahead and slide the terminal into the wire. I'm gonna go ahead and run a crimper over here, and we're just gonna tighten until there is nothing else to tighten more. Okay. I'm gonna release that. You will know that this is now notched. This is now tight and secure. Gonna run it through over here. That's it on this side. See how perfect fit over here? Now we're gonna go back to the other end and pull this cable wire tight. And we're gonna go ahead and connect the other terminal on the other end and secure it. So now that we're back on this end, we're gonna go ahead and terminate this side of the cable connection. So as you can see, as I pull on it, the rest of the railing system gets tugged. So we're gonna use a terminal over here that's adjustable, because when we tighten it, this is gonna screw on and it'll make the cable tighter and tighter upon each turn. The thing here is that our cable post is designed for a specific size. So when it comes to the one terminal on one side that's adjustable, we're gonna need to bore out the hole. Depending upon the terminal kit you have, if you purchase ours, a drill bit would have been included. But otherwise, if you purchase another terminal system that is equally compatible, you might have to provide your own drill bit. So in this case, we noticed that it will not fit. We're gonna have to cut this wire over here first. Just cut a little bit enough for now to fit in the wire. And we're gonna go ahead and bore out the hole down here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this wire over here. Okay, so now that we have this over here, we're gonna go ahead and drill out the hole. So this side is in. What I'm gonna be doing right now is unscrew this side. It comes right off. And we're gonna run the wire into here. You might need to cut the wire a little bit more just to make sure that it will be tugged. I think in this case, we do need to cut it probably about this much. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this right now. So when you're just before you connect your connection, just make sure that when you push it all the way in, before you crimp it, just make sure you pull it tight over here and see if this end is going all the way to the end over here. In this case, it looks like I might need to cut it a little bit more short to make sure that when I pull on this tight, it will have space for this to keep pulling the end terminal in. Now that this is pinched, I'm going to tighten this right now. We're going to use another tool to tighten this right now. All right, so now we're going to use these tools that are included in the terminal set. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pinch down and slide this on. We're going to screw this in to just lock this in place. That's all we're doing over here. And what we're gonna do here is using the other side and just turn and pull in our cable connection over here. So as we're pulling this in and tighter, you will notice that the cable becomes more and more tugged. And this is why I wanna make sure that there is enough space over here before we assemble this together that it can pull itself in towards the terminal itself. So this is pretty tight. If it's not tight enough, you can always give it a couple more crank, assuming that you have the space for it. I'm gonna release this, comes out. There we have it. This is the first line. We're gonna do the rest of it right now. So we're done with installing all the cables. Everything is in. It can probably take another round of tightening, but besides that, we are ready for the top rail. So these connectors can be connected to any top rail. Once again, ideally, we might want to have the top rail installed first, but in this case, just for demonstration, just to show what this would look like with the top rail installed. This is what you can expect. You can have it a continuous run, and depending upon the type of rail you use, get a different look.